Today, we're diving into the world of The Walking Dead, filled with zombies, guns, explosives, knives, frying pans, and brain-dead NPCs that somehow managed to survive. You play as this guy, the tourist. Now, he doesn't have a face, so we have to use our imagination. Much better. You are a survivor searching for a military bunker called the Reserve that contains food, medicine, and most importantly, guns. This journey will be filled with excitement, pain, scuff glitches, morally questionable moments, and lots of murder. Will we find the Reserve, or we will give up everything that we worked so hard for? So, let's begin. We start the game off when you meet this guy, Henri. He has a clue to where the Reserve is, so we decide to meet him. And he tragically died off camera. He left me his bus, which will be our new home. The bus has a recycler that can be used to recycle scrap I find. And I totally didn't recycle all his belongings. Crafting stations that can craft weapons and medicine. And most importantly, alcohol, apple juice. While looking for more apple juice, I found Henri's notebook. It reads that I need to contact Station 61. Only problem, his radio has no microphone. Not good. I then hop on my yacht and set sail for a microphone. When I leave my yacht, I see a woman asking for help. I didn't care at first, but then she mentioned a safe. Now, I was intrigued. She tells me to kill her husband that turned into a zombie, and in return, she will give me the code to their safe. Now, my monkey brain only heard safe, and I totally forgot about the microphone. I find and kill her husband, and then give her his engagement ring. She then gives me the code, and I open the safe, which had a shiny new revolver. When I returned to the bus, I realized that I forgot about the microphone.
I didn't get that, bro.
Well, shit. So, like any good functioning member of society, I dragged myself to sleep. The next morning, I went back to the house. Only problem, now the house is filled with armed guards from the faction The Tower, and they were not gonna give it to me for free. So I have three options. 1. Negotiate a reasonable price for the microphone. 2. Accept defeat and go home. Or 3. Use more extreme measures. I think you already know the answer. After having a peaceful confrontation, I returned to the bus and made contact with Channel 61. I didn't pay much attention to what he said until he mentioned that I was up there. Now remember, I am looking for a military bunker underground. So I questioned him about it, and he says it is classified. Interesting. But while I was having my lovely conversation with the man on the radio, we were rudely interrupted by a stranger trespassing on my graveyard. I followed the stranger's tracks and it leads me to a tomb, where a location for a tower cache was. Now, whenever there's an opportunity for me to kill tower members, I will take it. When I got to the tower base, I was originally going to stealthily steal supplies and run. But I realized we could find a peaceful solution to a little problem. After my little meeting with the tower folks, I met the stranger, May. She is a strong, independent single mother who was exiled with her daughter from the tower. Like the businessman I am, we agreed that all the intel from the tower caches is hers, and I keep all the loot. This will make me rich. After my talk with May, I returned to the bus, where I talked to the stranger on the radio again. We start becoming more wholesome friends. His name is Casey, and he was a National Guardsman stationed in the Reserve. The Reserve went on lockdown due to a flooding, trapping him inside. The pumps for the Reserve are broken and needs to be replaced. Our goal now is to find a new pump and save Casey. In return, he will give us everything in the Reserve. I told you, I was a businessman. Now I forgot to mention is that there are two large factions in this game. The Tower and the Reclaimed. They are both obsessed with finding the Reserve, and it led to a war between them. Now why is this important? Well, I can play both sides to get what I want. So when I saw Tower folks talking, I saw a business opportunity. One of their members had been captured by the Reclaimed and is being held hostage in a house close by. I agreed to bring him back in one piece, with the reward of supplies. But of course, I had a change of heart, because the Reclaimed is way cooler than the Tower losers. When I entered the house, I killed the hostage by orders from the Reclaimed. When I walked back to the Tower people, they were slightly irritated and started firing at me. I had to do something, so I threw a freedom bomb and used self-defense. Luckily, I found the pump regulator that I needed, and I headed home. Everything was going perfectly, but then we hit a roadblock. You see, since this is a VR game, there tend to be some bugs. And when I tried to travel back home, I was teleported in the air, making me unable to use my boat, and therefore making me stuck.
What is this? Am I seriously stuck?
This might be one of those bugs that my grandchildren keep telling me about. Or maybe I was paying for my sinners. At least that's what people tell me, but obviously I'm a saint. The only solution was to use an old save and do all the progress I just did all over again. But I just went back and did it all again. I got another mission from May to grab another tower cache. What's special about this one is that I received a recipe for the lever action rifle, which will be very useful for long range fights. Remember what I said in the intro? How the NPCs were brain dead? Yeah, I was not kidding. I don't understand how these doofuses survived this long, since they were all obviously dropped as a child. But that just made it so much easier. Before I traveled, I listened to the radio, and there were medical supplies close to me. So I decided to grab it before I left. Now in this game, you have a certain amount of time available. You use a watch to see how much time you have left. But what happens when the timer runs out? This happens. The church bell rings, alerting every single walker to a location. So when you hear the bells ring, run. Luckily, when it happened to me, I was close to my skiff. Remember the pump regulator? Yeah, I have to install it near the church. Only problem, the place is crawling with walkers. So, like any introvert, I try to blend in by covering myself with their guts. You know, classic introvert move. When I woke up, I was greeted with Casey's lovely voice. He said, "Good morning, sunshine." I felt this connection between us. Maybe even something special. He talks about his life before the apocalypse, but I was, cleaning my gun. However, Casey is running out of time, so we have to hurry. Next day, I look for another pump regulator, when I meet another survivor.
Who is this handsome fellow? You look like The Rock, if he was like skinny.
He wants me to deliver a letter to his boyfriend. Now why would I even care? Well, I need a key to the warehouse, where the pump regulator is. My original plan was to seduce his boyfriend and ruin another happy couple. But just before I was about to make my move, I thought of someone special. I give him the letter and they live happily ever after. I also opened the warehouse, grabbed the pump regulator and inserted it near the church. Only this time, instead of zombies, there were tower members guarding it. But they all somehow magically disappeared. Wow. You may be asking, what is the best weapon in the game? Is it shotgun? No. Is it rifles? No. Is it revolvers? No. It's this, the frying pan. This weapon is so powerful, I only used it twice, because if I used it throughout the game, it would have been way too easy. But why is it OP? Well, every weapon in this game has a durability, some more than others. Meaning you only use your best weapons in emergencies or special occasions. Enter the frying pan. It has infinite durability and takes no stamina when used. Also, the bomb from the frying pan gives plus 10 testosterone. You know the drill, get a mission from May, grab the cash. Like any good day, I come home from work and talk to Casey. I even brought pillows so we can have a slumber party when he gets out. We were talking about the people he was with in the bunker when he brought up one of his good friends named Kenneth. He hasn't heard from him for a long time, and I need to check up on him. Now, I don't know who this Kenneth is, but he has some nerve trying to befriend my Casey. Like any good friend, I pay him a little visit. Like I suspected, he murdered all the others from the bunker and accidentally got stuck under some rubble. I was gonna help him, but I decided to give him some time to reflect on his actions. So I, left him. But then, something terrible happened. I was betrayed by the frying pan. He made a deal with the zombies that he would betray me when the time was right.
No. What? No. Stop. Stop. No. Stop. Stop. Let go. Stop. Bruh.
So I was eaten by the zombies, and I had to do all the work I just did, all over again. Like the mature person I am, I rage quit and went to sleep. But the next day I just speedran the mission. I have one last mission from me. I have to steal intel from the first house in the game, where my first encounter with the tower happened. I guess we had to have a rematch. So I grabbed my weapons and gear and went to war. After obliterating them again, I traveled home with the final intel. May then gives me the reserve key and we say our goodbyes. Our business contract has ended and it made me very rich. Casey then tells me where to find the last palm regulator. It is located at the heavily fortified street called Bastion. I gear up and get ready for a little pillow fight. However, when I showed up, there's no one there. Suspicious. I'm looking around for the pump regulator when I suddenly meet the reclaimed leader.
You are the tourist.
I am.
And I.
Oh, I'll take this.
Jean-Baptiste.
I don't care. Plus ratio. Plus.
There now.
If I
He has the pump regulator, but he just wants to chat. And after we're done, he will give it to me. This was a very good deal. He talks about how the reserve is holding back the city and about the Industrial Revolution. He tells me that I should flood the reserve, which of course would lead me to financial ruin. I politely decline like the gentleman I am and I leave with the pump regulator. Just before I was about to celebrate, tower soldiers were standing outside. They demand I go back and kill JB. In return, they will forgive all I've done. I agree to kill him. However, they forgot one thing. I had my fingers crossed. We do a little trolling. I warn him about the soldiers outside. Then he suggests a deal. I help him take out the tower soldiers, and when their reserve is open, his soldiers will not fire at me. I was faced with a difficult decision. The smartest move is to kill JB and save me the trouble of another fight. The reclaimed are already heavily outnumbered and would definitely be the smartest move to ally myself with the tower. I of course chose the Sigma move and allied myself with the reclaimed. Only thing left to do now was to defeat the tower troops.
Take this! Oh shit.
I finally have all the pump regulators and I can now save Casey. I used the key from May to unlock a shed with the final pump. But when Casey fired up the pumps, this happened.
Yeah, a building lit up in the distance. Looks like the church.
That's no good.
Floodlights popped on or something. The whole city's gonna know where the reserve is now.
Both factions were gonna swarm the place like flies. This was it. It is now or never. I grabbed the dual wheel pistols and the shotgun and headed to battle. We did it, boys. We're inside the church, just above the reserve. Unfortunately, some of our reclaimed friends were shot in accidental friendly fire. But that doesn't matter now. The pumps Casey powered up had to be manually turned on inside the church. But then, we hit another roadblock. There is so much water that it has to be directed to one of two rooms. Casey's room or the armory. There's also the option to flood the entire reserve, but that's cringe. I of course am slightly irritated that all my hard work was for nothing. Was I really gonna choose supplies over my close friend? Was I really that selfish? No, of course not. Just before I was about to flood the armory, I totally slipped on a rock. And in the process of falling, I accidentally flooded Casey's room.
Wait, what? What did you do? You fucking psychopath! I trusted you! Oh, I hope you burn in hell! You, no! No, not like this! Not like this!
My friend, maybe even something more, is now dead. But hey, at least I get supplies. Sorry Casey, business comes first. Remember May? Yeah, me neither, but the game does. Before the battle, I saw May's daughter shot dead by the exiles. The exiles betrayed May to try to get back into the tower. I sang a lullaby to her daughter and then I went into battle. Apparently, May went crazy and wants to ring the church bell, attracting every walker in the city to the people outside the church. I hear the Reclaim retreating and the tower folks cheering. If she rings the bell, not just the men, but the women and the children will all be slaughtered. Of course, I do nothing. She was a bit tired and fell to the ground after ringing the bell. I of course help her. I actually do CrossFit in my free time. I was about to head down to the reserve, but then I stopped. Think about it. Why would May do this? It could be because she was drowning in guilt and was grieving. Or is it all a distraction, so she can betray me as soon as I turn my back? So like the absolute gamer I am. A 360 no scope though. In the reserve, I see Casey having swimming lessons. I try to break him out, but the glass is actually made of bedrock. I was about to cry, but luckily the armory supplies cheered me up. We unlock the AR recipe and grab all supplies I can, and I leave. I finally became rich, and then I hop on my yacht. I can hear the tower soldiers and the zombies having a tea party outside. I of course leaped into it, and I set sail into the horizon. Well boys, we did it. We beat the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, winning the game as the ultimate saint. There will be a sequel to this game that comes out late 2022, so stay tuned for that. Another thing, this will not be an exclusive VR games channel. I have a lot of ideas for future videos, so make sure to subscribe for that. But anyway, I will see you lads some other time. Bye.